Welcome to episode 6 of Gin
Yes.
and Talkin.
Woohoo!
Why is your contribution always just one word? Like,
I don't know what to say.
so
You took all the
stupid.
good parts. So we had someone
Yeah.
who keeps suggesting
Yeah.
that we talk about Singapore's caning punishment. They wanted us to talk about it since the podcast we did on school punishments.
Third episode.
Oh yeah. So like when you got hit.
Yeah. Since I got hit, that was in KG. So since the last 17 years, they've been wanting us to talk about Singapore caning
Yeah,
punishment.
like your pain is nothing
Yeah.
compared. I mean,
It's like,
Kinda.
brother, Singaporeans go through so much and you're complaining? You think you have problems? Have you even looked into their problems?
you do you know what it is?
No, you sent me the video, but I was like, I opened the video and it was AI voice. And I was like, I'm not supporting these AI YouTube channels.
It wasn't.
It was AI voice. Or maybe it was a human being that sounded like AI, which is equally bad or worse.
Wow.
Like, you are a human being and you sound like AI.
We just assumed it was a human male talking. Anyway.
Oh, it was Captain Robot. So- Captain Holt. Robot Captain.
Yeah. So in Singapore, there
Yeah, we
is
love
this-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just FYI.
They understood, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just giving you folks lore about us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in
Singapore caning
Singapore-
punishment.
They there is this law that you will get caned with this cane which is called a ratan. Okay. And
It's a rattan.
yeah, it's called ratan.
Okay.
Ratan cane. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. But if you have committed robbery, any kind of kidnapping, even vandalism, so like graffiti and all those things, or probably like, I don't know, can we use the R word in the first
Yes.
2 minutes?
Yes.
The R word. The R word. And so like for those things, you go to the jail over there, but you will also get caned, which means you will be hit by those whip. But it's not a whip, it's like a stick kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That is called a ratan, the cane thingy.
Yeah.
They'll use that on you. And how it happens is, okay, but it's like from the ages of 18 to 50, all the males have to go through it. Like if you get jailed for so and so reason, you will be caned, and it'll be dependent on the punishment that you have. So there was like these Quora. Those.
Yeah.
I read those, and there were like even kids sometimes get beaten up. So like juveniles who get like for robbery or theft and all those things, who go to jail, not jail but like juvenile detention places, even they get it, and they will get caned maybe like less, so like 10 or less, 10 whips, kind of whips or something. How the process is, nobody knows when this will happen, so it can be any time. They'll just be like, you guys are going to get caned.
Like for no reason.
No, it's the people in the jail,
Okay.
not
okay,
like
okay.
random people.
Okay. Okay, people in the jail.
People in
That
jail,
makes more sense.
they are called off. It's like a day for them. They'll be brought in, they'll be lined up. They don't know, which is why this anxiety is building in, because they know that they'll be hit, and
just
they
don't
don't
know
even know
when.
how many whips they will get. Okay, and it's extremely painful.
Yeah.
So like they'll be lined up, they will have like from 8 a.m. they'll be called into this one particular place where they'll be checked, they'll be cleaned. This person had wrote that they get like shaved, like their buttocks get shaved because they want maximum impact, and they hit you on the buttocks.
Oh my god, that's humiliating
Yeah,
as
it
an
is.
adult.
So the thing is, it is supposed to be humiliating. It is not
Okay.
supposed, like, it has to be as painful, and it will be humiliating, and you will remember it for the rest of your life. That's the
Wow.
point. They will do is they will keep those canes that rattan like soaked in water in last night, so that these people don't get splinters, like the people who are getting hit, and the
Okay.
rattan doesn't break easily. And
I
uh,
think the splinters part is just a cover up. They just don't want the stick to break.
maybe
मतलब उनको केन से मार रहे और बोल रहे भाई मतलब ना स्प्लिंटर नहीं लगना चाहिए बेचारे को यार.
एक cane एक इंसान
Yeah,
बस.
they don't give a shit about that.
Anyway, so then the next day they'll have their like clean up. They'll make them fully nude. They'll shave them, and they'll give a small piece of clothing for them to cover their penile part. This small piece,
They
this
just
much.
assume that all the criminals are male.
Yeah, it's all men only who get hit.
What about women?
They don't.
They don't have women criminals.
They have, but only the men get hit. The men are the ones who get
This is gender abuse.
gender abuse.
I don't know what that means. This is inequality. This is what feminism has done to someone's nation.
Okay.
Feminism in Singapore is cancer.
I think they don't have feminism. That's why.
Oh wow. तो किसको blame करे फिर? Who will I blame as a men's rights activist?
The other men who are doing
Other
it.
men is the no. How dare you trick me into this? I am Andrew Tatte. How dare you trick me into this? Anyways,
So,
getting out
So-
of character.
so now where was I? So they get checked. They remove. They just have this one piece of clothing that they cover. Now this is happening. Huh?
Loin cloth.
Yeah. But then this is happening in one room where they have this like structure where they bend over, their legs are tied up, they bend over, and their buttocks are exposed, and they're whipped in the buttocks. And dude, the people who do the whipping, they are specially trained. They are not like jisko tisko bol diya, do it.
Wow. So actually, it's an employment crisis solution. Everyone in the world is like Singapore mein everyone has a job. Yes. 70% people are caners.
Caners. That's what it's called.
Yes. It's called caners.
Now hiring caners.
Yes.
Requirement must be able to whip.
Yes.
Whip. You so bad. I cringe.
Oh.
You do so gross.
Watch me whip. Oh, look, imagine you are a criminal in the Singapore justice system. Okay. Imagine you're a criminal in the Singapore justice system, male criminal, because no female can commit crime.
No, they do.
And no, they don't. And and then you are told कि आज तुम्हारा whipping होगा, ठीक है? And you have been preparing for this mentally, of course, because you know this is going to happen. So you are trying to sort of steel your brain. You're like mentally मैं strong, like I will jellify it. I will take it in my butt, and I will not. That sounds very gay. I will go to my cellies and be like, I took it on the butt and I didn't feel nothing.
Yeah,
Very gay.
that's what
Yeah,
that's
but-
what people say in the prison also.
But then you meet the person who is supposed to whip you, your caner, your personal caner, and while whipping you, he sings, "Watch me whip, watch
yeah,
me nay
so
nay."
the other part of
So
the
watch
torture
me
is
whip, watch me nay nay.
yeah, the other part of the torture is this song plays in the background while they whip them.
Headphone में लगा के मतलब watch me whip,
No.
watch me whip.
It is full on blasted. Even the person who gets whipped also has to hear this.
Okay, interesting. That is how that song became viral.
सिंगापुर में पहले वायरल हुआ
No
था.
one had heard the song. Singapore authorities को पता चला, they are like whip. Singapore authorities actually have a Google alert on. Okay, जब भी कोई गाना release होता है with the word whip, they are like refresh, playlist change. Imagine if they have a playlist with just songs about whipping.
I'm pretty
Just
sure
to,
they do.
just to remind them that आने वाला है भाई तुम्हारा गान ready रखो अपना. It sounds so bad and very gay. I feel so sad for them. Like, but you know what to me is ridiculous.
You
is that
didn't
वहाँ
even
पे-
hear the whole story.
No, I will listen, of course. But what so far is ridiculous is कि देखो, do they must have other forms of punishment, of course, like based on severity of the crime. Do they have the death penalty over there? Probably they do, right? In some cases, imagine being on death row.
No, but but I think these are for crimes that, I mean, we should check it, but these are for crimes that are let out, like you are let go of,
Acha.
so that they don't do it ever again.
Acha, so jail mein the only people who are not getting caned are the child rapists and all of
No,
that.
they also get raped.
Ah,
Raped,
so-
I was going to say, no, you.
They get caned.
Great.
They get caned.
Yeah.
No, not great. What? Someone will do it. That's still bad. No, so anyways,
Oh my god, no, yeah.
what I was saying is, so imagine you're someone who has committed a very heinous crime. You're on death row. Okay? तुम्हारा मौत आने वाला है. फिर भी तुमको कूट रहे हैं.
Yeah, but then if you have,
मौत आने ही वाला है.
yeah,
और
but
तुमको कूट रहे
they
हैं.
are
मान लो
like
तुम जिस दिन
मौत
मरने
सही
वाले
से
हो
नहीं आना
कूट-
चाहिए.
मौत सही से नहीं आना चाहिए.
हाँ, दुख दर्द वाला होना चाहिए.
What if कूट के ही मार रहे हो उनको कि जब तक तब तक whip
You
करेंगे जब
didn't,
तक
that's
तू
the
खत्म.
thing, you didn't even listen to
अच्छा,
the
okay,
whole
okay. Yeah,
thing.
that's my bad.
Just talking in the middle.
My bad.
So now this thing that happens in a separate room, and the rest of the prisoners are in a different room where they can't see what's happening, but they can hear it.
Okay.
So now also in some places I saw, they said that a cloth or like a tissue kind of a thing is put in their mouth so that they can't shout, but they moan very loudly in pain.
Okay.
And
In pain. Clarifying.
obviously in pain, or kya hoga.
They were moaning. And they're taking the bath.
But then, when I was reading about it, so it was a Quora post that I was reading where this person was juvenile, who was talking about how they were taken to see, like he had committed some kind of a robbery. So he and other kids who were juveniles, they were taken to this place to see what happens, so that they get scared and they don't do it again. And he was talking about his and the way he wrote it was, he was tied up, and then his hands were tied up, legs spread apart, buttocks wide open while he
Oh.
bent. It sounded like so kinky.
It could be a sex fetish. Like we should look into the origins of this.
Oh, the origins is... Wait, I'm telling you that
Okay,
also. Wait. It's a story.
She has all the answers.
Wait. So now, anyways, so it is sad, it's scary, okay. The thing is, after maximum of 3 whips, people can't take it. And there is a doctor present there. After each whip, he checks whether this person can take a whip or not. So after hearing that, I was like, oh, okay, so like maybe if they can't take it, they stop.
Yeah.
No. They're like, okay, this guy is fainting. We will make sure, we'll take some rest. We will get back to him again when he's okay. Like, aaj hi karna hai lekin. So like, they'll give him like 15 minutes. Okay, take rest.
Wow. Imagine being like, oh, तुम्हारा हालत खराब हो रहा है, ये लो IV लगाते हैं and all of that. अच्छा ठीक हो गया, हटाओ IV. किधर है रट्टन?
निकालो.
Oh my god. That is cruel.
Yeah, that is absolutely cruel. So like, imagine being just 3, it takes just 3 whips for you to be in agonizing. I think even 1 would be too much, because those are huge it is like 0.5 inches thick, and it is like almost 4 foot long, the whip.
Oh my god. So like,
And some could be even longer.
For anyone who has not studied science, for you also then, right? I'm just explaining why a big stick is worse than a small stick.
Yeah, as if we wouldn't know.
Tell me. Okay, fine.
No,
Tell me.
I don't want to.
Why is a big stick
I don't want to.
worse than a small
I
stick?
don't want to talk.
Of course. It's not because you don't know it. It's just that you don't want to talk now.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
you're stopping me in the middle of this extensive research that I did
Yeah.
after watching one
No, so
YouTube video.
So the long stick is worse because basically centripetal and centrifugal force. Jitna, like for the same reason that you open the door from the furthest point from the hinge, because you can at that point you can use the lowest force to exert the maximum effect, right? And that is the same thing with the stick. If a stick is long, with the smallest of effort it will hurt the most, basically.
Thank you. Nobody needed to know that. It just hurts more.
Science people need to know this.
Science people already knew.
Fine. Yes.
Anywho, where was I? Okay, so that's how long it is. And so now the thing is, this law applies for anybody and everybody who's male. So that means even foreigners. So there was this
What? What?
Yes. So like if you are
No.
visiting that country and you commit any of these crimes, you will get caned. The thing is, there was this one guy called Michael Fry or something like that. I forgot. I think Michael Fry. He was caught vandalizing a car. Like he did graffiti and stuff, and he was caught. And then he was put. He was supposed, and he was under 18. He was like 16 or less years old. So he was also supposed to get caned. 6 whips. Sorry. So like normally, it's usually people who are 18 to 50 years old who get that, and they'll do a physical testing.
Okay.
They'll actually get you physically checked whether you can take those whips. So like old people won't get it, but this guy, okay, it was a huge controversy because the US was like, no, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
But the people over there were like, no, it's for everyone, we'll
It's
do
the
it.
law.
Yeah. And Bill Clinton came and he was like asking for, no, you should do something. Shouldn't apply for people who are who are foreigners.
Yeah,
So then,
people who are bound by a different law system.
but then the lawmakers over there, the government over there was like, fine, we listen to you. They went from 6 whips to 4 whips. They were like,
But
2 less.
3 whips is the most people can take for context. What the fuck?
So then now after that, the whole controversy was built like, oh, is this even, like, it is not humanitarian in any way.
In any way,
Obviously
shape
it
or
is
form.
not.
मैं बकचोदी कर रहा हूँ,
हाँ.
but I feel so bad.
So like the other nations were like, okay, this is cruel, you cannot do this and everything. But the funniest part was, the caning thing came into Singapore because of colonization. They were the one to begin it.
What?
So like during colonization, this caning thing was a thing.
Who
Like,
had colonized Singapore?
British?
I need to be sure.
I also don't know. But the colonizers brought it, and now they are like, no, our people are getting whipped. This cannot be it.
Does it have its roots in slavery?
I'm pretty sure whipping is a very slave-owning thing.
British.
Obviously, see?
British. Need to check.
But yeah, so caning is a real thing, and agar cane karte waqt toot gaya, to will they like change the cane, or is it like, oh, this cane is for this prisoner only? So if it breaks, you have to pay for it.
I hope that's not the case. What if they are in crime? They are in jail for theft. They're like, चुराया था ना पैसा, चल उससे pay कर.
हो सकता है. I think that's why I want to know why this one person kept asking us to talk about this thing. I mean, it was very interesting, but then why do you want to know about it?
Very fucked up. But also, I just googled, right? I wanted to know what is the smallest thing you can get caned for. Okay. So, what do you think?
It's like drawing a graffiti.
That's the smallest thing you can think
Yeah.
of. Vandalism, basically. Vandalism of public property or someone
Okay.
else's private property, right? That's what you're thinking. So the smallest crime that you can get caned for in Singapore is smoking in public.
Oh yeah, smoking was also a thing. Yeah, I
Smoking in public.
forgot. Yeah.
कलकत्ता में सबको पड़ेगा.
कलकत्ता में तो जो पास में जा रहा है उसको भी पड़ेगा.
हाँ, because they're also inhaling.
Yeah.
You're passive smoking. The only thing that you can't get caned for in Singapore is passive smoking. Oh my god. Look at my laughter. My laughter makes waves. One
They
by one.
wouldn't know.
I'll show you, yeah.
You will not show.
Okay, yeah, I forget. While editing, I'm like, "Hata, khatam karo editing."
Anyway, so
Alcohol
that was...
consumption,
Oh.
drug or gang related activities just escalated. Smoking, alcohol, drugs,
Yeah.
gangs.
Like,
बीच में कुछ नहीं है.
take a hefty fine. No.
Fine.
Also, wait. This whole thing, after getting whipped, because it is extremely painful, these people cannot poop. It is
Oh my
difficult pooping or lying down or even sitting. They have to literally lie down on their stomach because they can't sit on their backs or anything. Everything becomes very difficult.
So apparently it also leaves scars for years.
Yeah, you will have like big scars.
Oh my god.
Because now the thing is, depending on like your whatever you did. So like imagine the worst crime you did. So good if you are getting whipped for like child, those things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, see, the thing about justice is that justice systems have to be humanitarian first. Okay, a justice system cares more about the innocent,
reforming
innocent than it cares about the guilty, and it cares more about reforming than about punishing.
Yeah,
it's not about
but
punishing.
Do you know people over there actually find it to be a good thing? So like they actually like it. So the post that I read, like couple of posts that I was reading, who actually got whipped for like some mediocre ass thing, they were saying that, you know, it has helped me to not think about any criminal activity after this. Like my life has changed. I was like, good for you, I guess.
No, but also then, it's basically a government gaslighting. Okay, it's like on a government scale. See, it's the same thing as patriarchy. Okay, if you suppress someone for too long, they start thinking that's regular form of life, and obviously you'll feed them some propaganda garbage to tell them that, oh yes, justify to yourself that is the right thing for you because I care about you. I said a lot of words very fast.
Okay. Anyway. No, even regular people actually like it because crimes have gone down because people are in fear.
Yeah.
Which is fear. It's fear mongering. It's that, which is still not that good.
It is not good at all.
Because you're not doing good. You're not being a decent human being because you are a decent human being. You're being a decent human being because you're scared that the government
but that is a very interesting philosophical question, right? So tell me what you think about it. Do you think people are good by nature, or people are good because law exists?
Interesting. Because law does abide by you. It's like that experiment, Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah, I don't have much context. I mean, I read about it, but I forgot.
Oh, no. I mean, even that experiment was flawed. So, like, the experiment goes like, there was 10 prisoners or more, I forgot. But, like, two groups of people, they were chosen by this one professor to do this experiment, when one group will be the prisoners and one group will be the guards. And now he gave those guards all the power to use, like you can do whatever as the guards, and the prisoners have to listen to it. The choice was that the thing was, they could have been the regular as guards. In the beginning, that was the case. It was normal, it was usual. They were just prisoners acting like prisoners, and they were guards doing their jobs. But as time passed, they became ruthless, knowing the fact that they have a power over them. So they would bully them, beat them, make them stand for hours, and whatever. They would do all kind of bullying stuff. So the thing he came out with was that when people are giving enough power, they will do all the heinous crimes that they can. So which is why we need laws in order to we need rules, we need order, law and order. But this experiment was again questioned because later on it came out as, there are things that he did unethically, which was he kind of egged these guards on to be like, do certain things,
Oh,
like
yeah,
indirectly egging them to be ruthless.
yeah.
So in real life, would that be the case? Because obviously that is an experiment. You cannot compare that to how people would be in real life. But there are real life examples where there are, I mean, if you see countries where law and order has gone haywire, people have used means, really bad means, to just, also because there is less resources at that point. Like if you see countries where right now there are like surgeons between the government and maybe a military whatever, or maybe like some other groups who are fighting against the government because they don't like it, there you will see crime is more. Why? Even regular people will like do stealing and everything because resources are less.
Yeah.
So there is more nuances to it. It's not like just, oh.
Yeah.
But then yeah, I mean, maybe law and order does help, but you cannot be sure. Like I think people, little, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, see, I am a very very firm believer in that by nature everyone's good, because if you meet a 1-year-old boy or 1-year-old girl or a 2-year-old boy or a girl, very rarely you will hear fucked up things from them unless there's some psychological problem, right? They are not going to talk about hurting people and all of that, or theft and all of that, right? They might be little shits, okay, annoying, but they are not evil, okay? People become evil with indoctrination, okay? So that's why you need the law. You need the law because there's propaganda, okay? So everyone's being raised in a certain way with a certain set of values, etc., and those values could be anything. You don't have any control over them, right? And the reason, for example, our laws, like you take India's laws, we were talking about this earlier, that it's very like some of the laws don't have provisions for men because uh, essentially the law was written to counter society, right? So society by itself has given men protection from a lot of things, right? So you need to now write laws to give women protection because the society is not going to give it by default, right? So you're countering whatever society is. And societal norms are built over time. You can't just take it away. But yeah, I believe people by default are good, okay? So if law didn't exist, if there was no law, if there was no constitution, right, do you think people would be just out there murdering and raping each other? No,
No.
that would not be the case. People would still be still live properly and would like each other, etc. That would be the case because democracy has existed for a very short period of time. Democracy is a very new concept. Humans are much older than that, right? And humans were, matlab, there were obviously cavemen were hitting their women on the head and just fucking them, but you leave them aside. Cavemen is a very far away concept, but humans have existed as a society before democracy has, right?
Also, we don't know if they actually did that.
Yeah, that is also there.
Yeah,
but
that's like
but
assumed thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And even democracy, we talk so much good shit about democracy. Is democracy the best system possible? Because there's still fucking crime
Yeah.
going on. So yeah, even with constitution people will do crime, right? And a lot of them will use the constitution to get away with it, right? Like there are how many stories have we read about mothers or fathers sort of confronting their uh, daughters or sons rapist or molester and killing them, right? And then going to jail for it, right? Now who decides whether they go to jail? The constitution says they should, right? Because they murdered someone. They murdered someone, it's premeditated. They thought about it and they murdered someone, so they should go to jail, right? But should they? If the constitution did not exist and if the people, the society were asked to vote, right? Should that person go to jail? Would they go to jail? I'm betting no.
Yeah.
Everyone would be like, yes, you should have fucking killed that child rapist, right? But so who's to say what the constitution does right or wrong, right? The constitution is not a fucking, what do you call it, like it's not, the reason amendments exist is because the law is not right and the law changes with the times, right? So if the law can change, how can we say that the law is what defines behavior, right? So the people who say that, okay, it's in Singapore, back connecting the dots back to the Singapore caning thing, if you think that it's because of the caning thing that people are that is the, it's one of the safest places in the world, you're wrong. It's not the caning thing. It is just that after a point of you doing that, they've sort of, some people are in fear, some people are sort of doing it, getting caned and not doing it again, whatever. But the most heinous crimes are still going to be happening, right? It's not the law that is doing that. It's
Also,
people have
it's-
decided by themselves.
Also, the fact that it's not the fact that there is this, punishment that is very kind of out
Cruel.
there. Yeah, very cruel. But there are also other systems at hand that is actually helping people over
Correct.
there.
Exactly. That is
Which
what I
is
was going to
help.
say.
Like there is, like over here in India, the employment rate is going down.
Yeah.
Every single day. But over there, it's like the most employed, like one of the most employed countries.
Yeah.
So like you can see how like those things matter.
Yeah.
So it's not just the punishment that is keeping
Exactly.
them.
You're not the people there have been fed their whatever propaganda garbage, right? So they are reiterating whatever. But if you look at it objectively, Singapore is one of the best places to live economically. Singapore has some of the greatest sort of policies about people, etc. All of this lead to people not needing to do crime.
Yeah.
Right? I believe a high percentage of crime happens because people need to do crime, right?
Yeah.
How many people have for example, if a delivery boy is stealing your food, can you imagine how humiliating it must be for them to steal it in the first place, right? You are stealing food. Why would you steal food if you have food? A person with a full tummy is not going to steal food just because he's like, वो उल्टी कर देगा ना फिर कहाँ जाएगा खाना उसके अंदर, right? A hungry person will
Like something
will
that
steal
is a
food.
basic necessity.
Exactly.
If you're stealing that, that means there is a problem in the
like
society.
if you talk about people doing crime for the sake of doing crime, I would point to the biggest criminal, Ambani.
God. भाई वीडियो टेल है मतलब हो गया गया.
हाँ, we're posting it on Google not owned by Ambani yet. No, but that's what I'm saying. How do you think someone can build such a big empire with no greed, without trampling over people? No, they have done it. The only thing is they're still doing it, and the only thing is they don't do it by themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, they set up a system that does it so that they can distance themselves from it and not have the guilt.
Yeah, how many like lands have been taken over, lands of tribal people, lands of poor people,
Yeah.
by Ambani just to build like a mining place or something.
Yeah.
I guess like rainforest is like getting destroyed because of that.
All across the world, right? So
yeah.
you talk about Singapore, there are certain things Singapore is really bad about. I have
Like
not
the
done research.
caning thing.
I have not done research.
Like this thing only. It is bad.
It is really bad because see, the thing is, the law is not ever perfect, right? Why do we not why do we have a humanitarian side or human ethics side to any law? It's because the law can fuck up.
Yeah.
So you need to change the degree to which you can fuck up. Like, why is the death penalty removed in a lot of places which are civilized? Because if the law fucks up, the person just dies.
Yeah.
And that's a very drastic thing to happen. There's another thing I had as a problem with believing all sort of victims, right? Because that changes the assumption of law, flips it on its head. The law says innocent until proven guilty, right? But believing all victims implies guilty until proven innocent. right? And that is also
Yeah, which is
a
why
problem.
we have you have a judicial system that
Yeah,
will that has a process, which is why you will not just be like, oh, we believe you, which would happen in like olden days.
yeah. But the point of Believe All Women as a movement as part of Me Too was not this. I understand that. The point was that people did not believe any women.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't
they wanted to sort of change that.
yeah, it wasn't like you yeah, it was just that. It was just like whenever people spoke, not even like, oh, I need to do something about it or you need to do something about it, whoever is listening. But it
Yeah.
was like whenever you said something, maybe even to your parents or to your friends, they'd be like, oh, you should have done this. Because I remember when I was groped and I was like 15, 16 year old, and I came back and I told my mom, not my mom, I went to church. I had to go to church for a rehearsal and I was really upset. I was crying, and then somebody saw me, this lady saw me, and she was like, what happened? And she was like, I got groped while I was there. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, what were you doing? Was your bag in front? Was your
What
bag
the?
there? And then I said, no, my bag, it was in the back.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, it's okay. But then while leaving, she said, you should start doing some martial arts and everything. And I was like, in my head, I did martial arts,
Yeah.
I did karate, and I was a brown belt,
Yeah.
which is like just a step before getting a black belt. And I was like, wow, now I'm even doubting my capabilities.
Yeah, it's like you're
Like,
pushing it on. This is what's fucked up about everything. It's like, see, I understand, saying that, okay, the world is a shitty place sometimes for some people, so you need to try and do whatever you can to see to make sure it doesn't harm you, right? But when it does happen, don't point to that.
yeah, it's
Don't point to
like
that.
it's good to learn martial arts. Again, I'm not saying self-defense. That bullshit does not work. I
Yeah.
have because I had to give self-defense classes in our school as like a part of our karate thing. Okay, like I had to teach. It was bullshit. And even karate is not that great for like self-defense. Okay, just learn martial arts. A good martial arts, like either you learn grappling or judo or something where you can overpower even if you're like a smaller person.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the thing is, it's or where was I going? But the thing is, learning this is a thing. Yeah, it's good for everyone, not for just women, for anybody. But saying that at that moment, I was like, what?
Yeah, do you think if something like this is about to happen, your fucking karate and judo skills is going to come out, especially as a child?
Yeah,
You'll be frozen.
yeah, and the thing is, at that moment, okay, so let me give you how it happened. Okay, it
Yeah.
was I was walking in this alleyway, like you have to go from this alley. There is a bit dark, okay, but I used to go to the church from that exact alleyway and everything, and nothing had happened. So obviously, I didn't worry about it. So there was this one guy in the cycle coming towards me, and I had eye contact. Okay, uh, I thought I didn't like his eye contact from a distance, and I was trying to keep my distance, like to my left, and he was on his left, but he immediately came towards me. Okay, I did try to move, but then he grabbed my breast, and
What the
then
fuck?
he was in the cycle, so I couldn't even catch up to him. I shouted, and there were people, and they were like, what happened, what happened? And I couldn't even say anything because I was like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And he was gone. So how do I nothing will help. Even if I knew anything in the world, even if I was the
Yeah.
strongest man, that also wouldn't help because वो साइकिल में चला गया, वो साइकिल चला के निकल गया.
Yeah.
And I tried to like see, he was gone. By then he was gone. So no point.
Exactly.
And the weirdest thing was, okay, this is the weirdest thing was, I don't know why. I always thought it was the guy who delivered newspaper to our place. Okay, because those eyes, I could only see the eyes. I could only remember the eyes, and it was eerily similar to the guy who would give newspaper.
Oh fuck.
And every single time, so the thing is, and he was like a little bit older than me. Little bit, no, he was in college then, I was in class 10, so older than me. And every time he used give newspaper, he used to stand there and wait for some reason. Okay. And I didn't like that, but I didn't care. And afterwards, when that happened, okay, now this thing is, I don't know, I'm not accusing him or anything, I'm just saying it was, I felt it. He would look at me and I would be like, what if it's him? What if that
Yeah.
was him?
Yeah.
And now he's mocking me, standing right outside my door,
Fuck.
staring at me with those same eyes. And I had to tell myself, okay, it wasn't him. I had to be like, no, that was not
Yeah,
him.
for your sanity, you
Yeah,
have to
you
tell
have to be
yourself
like,
that.
no, that was somebody else, probably.
Wow. That is so fucked up.
Yeah, so that was the story.
Yeah, it is very fucked up. And like a similar, I mean, I understand the part of, feeling extremely helpless, because I have felt in a similar manner. So when I would essentially use the local trains to travel to school, it's very packed, right? So I was going from the local train to school, and I'm standing like facing like the whatever the wall thingy, and I'm standing like this, and because that's the
Facing
only
the
place,
wall or like
like this,
leaning
like your
over.
back, leaning on the wall, right? So because that's the like you need to stand.
Yeah.
There's no place to sit, and it's super packed. And there was this some worker or some person, a man, like in front of me, and he was sort of leaning into me with his hand like in front of my crotch, but he was matching his movement to the movement of the train, right?
So like, yeah.
So to confuse me, and I also thought that, okay, it's maybe a like an accident or something,
Yeah.
right? So I just try to keep my hand in front or something, but I was not able to really properly do anything. And then the next station came, and he just really like he grabbed my like crotch really hard and then just left.
Oh my god.
Right? So like it wasn't even about abuse, it hurt like a beach, and
that
then
was abuse.
but I mean it hurt, it, like physically hurt as well.
Yeah.
Right? And then he left, and I was just confused at that. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck do I do? What? And then I had to just go to school and just be like, nahi kuch nahi ho raha hai, PT class kab hone wala hai, and all of that, right? That's what and I was not like really young. I was in class 11 at that point of time, right? So I'm like not a child. I'm still a child, but yeah. So I related to the sort of feeling helpless bit of it, because like they do it and they're gone. What do you do?
And like, yeah, they do it on this metro. I think they target metros and trains and buses.
Yeah, they do.
They will, because there's this one time I was going to college, and back then the 2017 2018, back then you had the non-AC metro in Kolkata, right? So it was horrible metro, garmi bahut lagta tha. I saw this man and a woman get up. Okay, the woman stands in the ladies' compartment. It's pretty empty only. And she's standing, she's watching something on her phone, like on the sand. She's standing like this. And the man is standing right behind her. So in the beginning, it seemed as if they are together.
Oh my god.
And they're in the ladies' compartment. So nobody thought of anything. Like, I and Srijay, we were like, me and my friend, we thought, oh, they are a couple or something, they're going. And because the ladies' compartment is empty, it's okay, he's standing. Because the way he was standing looked like he is looking at whatever she's looking at on her phone.
Yeah.
And slowly, he's getting closer and closer. So he's like right here, like breathing
like right
on her neck.
Yeah.
And people started talking, okay, because we can see his body rub against hers. Wow. Now the thing is, we don't know why she didn't react, but I get it. It's very scary to react at that point, because what if nobody takes your side?
And that's a very, very valid fear.
And there were, me and my friend, we started talking about it, being that is very awkward. Okay, that is not somebody who is like, even if you're with your boyfriend, even if you're with your husband, nobody is going to stand like that. Yeah. They will talk to you. That lady had she had earphones, and there were other women talking about, laughing about it, like laughing as in like, look, wo log kya kaise khade hain, and like making like kind of joking about it. Yeah, that was very weird. After a point, I felt uncomfortable. And I was like, "Aap kya kar rahe ho yahan pe?" And he got scared because nobody was like, he thought he can get away with it. I
Yeah.
said, "Kya kar rahe ho yahan pe? Gen section mein jao." That's all I said.
Yeah.
He just, he scurried to the door
Hmm.
and he was waiting for it for the next station to come. Utar gaya.
Wow. Imagine being that fucking girl. That's so
Yeah.
terrifying.
I'm pretty sure she was scared. She couldn't
Very
say
scared.
anything because at that moment you can't. And this is not the only time that has happened. This has happened so many times. I have told so many men, creepy men, to fuck off in
Yeah.
the metro.
Yeah, same.
Just go. And there was one time I had to push a man away because he did not stop being creepy. He was not stopping. He was just standing there. And I pushed him out of the metro. जब दरवाजा खुला मैं भाई निकल यहाँ से. I am pretty sure he had some, like, mentally there was something not okay, but doesn't matter.
It does not matter. All
Yeah,
of that are
like,
excuses.
He looked like he was very finicky, very fidgety, like something, but doesn't matter. 3-4 people around him were uncomfortable. Like, you
Yeah.
could see it on their faces.
Yeah.
And one of those people I knew. And I saw how like she felt like he was rubbing
The
against.
problem, the fear aspect also comes from the fact that it's not just that it's a surrounding thing. Like they will do it there, etc. They will follow you.
Yeah. Oh my god, I've been followed also.
Yeah, me too.
So scary. I was
It's
scared for
terrifying.
days.
Yeah, I know. It happened to me when I was really young. I was like probably class 9 or something, and I was in a local train only. Local trains are horrendous, which is why I avoid public transport like a plague. Right? You must have noticed that.
Yes.
I avoid public transport because I don't. Uh, it's just not like I can afford safety, so I don't want to risk myself. At that point, there was no other option. I have to take the train. There's no other thing I can do, right? No, that's no longer the case. But it was an empty train because I was coming at night. Not really night. It's like 9 or something. Okay, and I'm in the local train, and I'm standing, and I'm sort of just listening to music or something, and this man stands in front of me. Okay, a fat short man stands in front of me, and and like he's so close, his like sort of protruding belly is touching mine. Okay,
Ew.
it was very disgusting, and I was like, okay, for
And
a
you were
second
alone?
I was alone,
Oh.
and I was frozen, right? I was like, okay, what the fuck do I do, what the fuck do I do? And I sort of tried to move out of the way, right, a little bit. I tried to move a little bit to the side, and he also moved, right? And then thoda der baad I completely went away, and I went to the other corner. Okay, immediately he followed to the other corner.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
And then with the next few stations, I was just trying to keep my bag in front of me, etc. And the train started getting more and more cramped. So I thought in my mind that if the train becomes a bit cramped, I will somehow move away,
Yeah.
and then he'll not be able to follow, right? And I did. I moved to like a different piche wala section of the bogie, right? And in the bheed also he came following.
Yeah.
And now in my mind I'm just thinking, fuck, I have to go home. What if he follows me home, right? And he would have done that, but like when my station came, I sort of got off at the absolute last moment when the train had started running, right?
Yes.
And I would have I could have fallen into the train, but that was the safest way. I thought I could sort of get rid of him, right? And then even then I kept looking back to see if he tried to jump off the train or whatever, right? And they target children, dude, because children usually when they are alone, they are traveling, it's very fucked up.
How old were you?
I was in class 9.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was very fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Like, I've seen these other like creepy men, they'll target like boys.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, obviously, because if they target somebody who's like a young man, they can overpower him or anything, or they'll just be like, they'll shout, they'll slap him or anything. But these ये लोग क्या ही करेगा ये
Yeah.
बच्चा लोग.
See, like now if someone tries to do something, they are in for a very bad time, right? But at that point of time, that's not the case. And also, I don't know if you know this, most abuse to children happens to boys. Okay,
Yeah,
because
you
the thing
told
is,
me.
at least girls ka people are cognizant of that fact.
They are
right?
protected
They are
more.
they are protected more, and with boys they don't give a fuck. Like
It's not like
this,
they don't give a fuck. They think that not the things that happen to girls will not happen to those boys. They
yeah,
think that will not happen.
no, and also it's not just that. The not knowing that it happens is a thing, yes, but also I have told these stories to people before, right? What percentage of people do you think have been like, oh my god, that's so bad? Probably 5%. Okay, even right now I'm going to get comments which are be like, भाई तेरे साथ तो ये होना ही चाहिए था, तू खुद कुछ क्यों नहीं कर पाया, तू लौंडा होके ये सब होने दिया, and all of that
Oh
will
God,
happen. Okay,
yeah.
these comments are going to come, right? I'm predicting, right? It's going to happen because that's how people are, and it's not just guys who think this way. Okay, girls think this way also. Like I've shared these stories with women in my college, and they were like, तेरे को तो मजा आया होगा ना? I was like,
Oh my
no, that's
God.
not how it works.
No.
So that's how people are in general, right? So which is why they target boys, because it's easier to get away with it, right? There are consequences are worse, barely any consequences. So but yeah, uh, that's what it is.
Yeah, that was very sad.
Yeah, but it is
But it is,
reality, and the
yeah,
thing is,
but imagine that having like, I mean, we also faced it, but then this is something that somebody is going through right now.
yeah,
That-
and no one's going to believe it.
Yeah, probably what, like when I think about people who are trafficked, kids who are trafficked,
Yeah,
they are going through it right now at this moment. And it feels so scary to think that that child, or even doesn't even have to be a child, even an adult, that person's like, they don't have anything. They
yeah,
have to go through it.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly, it's just
So
lack of choice. No, what do you do
Yeah.
about it? You can't do shit. What do you do? There's nothing to do. It's very fucked up.
Yeah.
And also the thing is, a lot of boys go through this, okay, and a lot of men who are going to comment and say shit about me if I make this into a clip. A lot of them have also gone through it.
Yeah.
They just don't want to talk about it because
Yeah.
it feels emasculating to talk about it.
I have actually, the thing is, the number of men I've talked to, all of them have told me that either in metro or in the bus they have been groped.
Yeah,
All of them.
yeah.
Like the thing, yeah, that's the thing.
But that's because you created a safe space enough for them to tell it. Okay, most men are not going to tell it because it has not happened, but because if you talk about it, it's emasculating, and people will react in a manner that will emasculate you. Okay, because and this is also patriarchy at play. Okay, like women are considered weak. Okay, which is in and of itself bad. Women are considered weak, so it's like, okay, it's pity, it's not empathy. Okay, there's a difference. Empathy is when you understand. Women are just going to get pitied, okay, because they are going to look at them and be like, okay, you are weaker. Now, to a man, if you didn't do anything and it happened to you, you are supposed to be strong. How did you not fight? That is the dynamic, right? Which is why the patriarchy affects both of them. Any hoozles.
ending on a sad note.
Yeah, a lot of our episodes end on sad notes. I think we start masti karte karte and फिर we realize ki, oh, we have a past.
No, but I mean, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, I like talking. I
unfortunately.
like talking about these things regardless of what people say, because if even one person listens and thinks that okay, I feel comfortable talking about it, just normalizing talking about it,
Yeah.
less people. This would happen to less people. If people would talk about this, it would happen to less people.
Yeah, I think, yeah, these things should be normalized. Like
Yeah.
talking about,
Yes.
yeah, all
People
of
should
these
feel
things.
that if something happens, they can tell their parents. I've not told my parents any of this, right? Because the one thing that I told them, the reaction was not supportive.
Yeah.
So then, it's because it's not normalized for them, right? They are also in their mind. They are like, okay, I failed my child, but they don't want to accept it. Okay, so that's their psychology. They don't want to accept that they failed their child, so they are not going to sort of understand it, take it in a positive manner. They'll try to shift the blame on the child itself, because like, no, I didn't fail as a parent,
Yeah.
you failed as a person. Okay, it's not our fault. That's why they will get defensive, etc. But people who are listening right now someday will be parents, and hopefully if you've heard people talk about these things, you will build a place safe enough for your children to talk about this, and for your child to be even aware this is happening. Because now I have memories of things that have happened to me when I didn't even realize what was happening to me. And this is not just me, this is like almost every person I know has had some of these things, right? And most of these abuses are done by family. Okay, so yeah, let's normalize talking about this. If you have your stories, share those stories. It's all a safe space. We are not going to judge, and if people judge, we will kick their butts. We will cane their butts.
Yes.
uh, on that note, thank you so much for listening. Tune in for the next episode, which will be next week.
Bye.
Bye.